Here we go. Camel. Everyone, and welcome to another wild man willing to wander down winding roads to win worthwhile wages in this windless thing we call life. Uncle Gary once robbed a weed dealer in Colorado to make ends meet while he was traveling back home to his trailer in Marion, Kentucky. Episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
Does that story sound familiar, sir?
Yeah, it does.
Why does it sound familiar?
Because joining us this week in the Days Grimm studio is Mike Farley.
What's up,
What's
dude?
going on, guys?
Does that story sound familiar to you?
Oh yeah. I've gotten a lot of fame after that.
We actually just saw each other a couple nights ago.
Yeah, we did.
Dude, okay. Because we're so popular, I have to ask, internationally, has Colorado Man reached out to you? I can only call him Colorado Man because I don't think we use an actual name.
So the guy that we
the weed guy.
Yeah.
Is he,
No.
He
And
probably-
I don't think he would even know how to get a hold of me because I'm pretty under the radar.
Get off the grid.
Off the grid. Learned from my dad. So
Dude, in your episode, we started fucking talking about. We were talking about how your dad was like an outstanding character, and like how he you were like, yeah, I didn't have the best role model to look after or whatever. And then I was like, do you think he even? Or I was like, we were talking about his warrants for arrest, and I was like, do you think it had something to do with taxes? And you were like, what are taxes?
yeah.
It's like, yeah, then that's probably it.
Yeah, I mean, we were the family that got insurance that one time a month, and then we just just enough for us to get that card. And we were like, yeah,
this is gonna have to do.
No.
So it's almost been exactly 52 weeks. Actually, I think it has been 52 weeks since we saw you last, right?
Yeah. It's,
Well, on air, we saw you at
Factors,
the short film
I guess
premiered by
we could
Thomas Bernardin.
Yeah, Bernardin. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Yeah, Thomas Bernardin. What'd you think about Factors, man?
It was awesome. It was
fucking sick.
Yeah, that was the first time I've actually got to go and witness anything like that. As far as any kind of like premiere films and stuff, especially for local artists.
Yeah, same.
And that really motivated me to do stuff,
dude. And we were talking about it because both of you gentlemen have these rather long scripts written, or whether they're stories or films or whatever. You guys both have kind of thought about them as films already, though. But these short stories written, and the whole time I was watching Factors, I was like, fuck, dude. Either one of yours could be shot exactly that way, and it would have been titties.
By that way, you mean on film?
Yeah, the rustic, or even for yours, you could just even have a scene of Super 8 film, just a cut shot.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why I sound so echoey today.
I wonder if I do that scene where he's talking with his parents in 16 millimeter film.
That would be cool. Or even you said, if it's only going to be a couple scenes or a couple frames or whatever, you can just get an app for that. You don't have to do Super 8.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you just wanted to be a cheapskate and get the film done.
Yeah, be you see that 2 minutes of recording right there?
Yeah,
that was $200.
Shot on Snapchat.
What the fuck? Dude, he was talking about the year and a half before filming the movie. He was like, I needed to make sure I knew how to film. So he flew out to Utah and shot 5 minutes worth of film, loaded the wrong way.
Wasted it.
Fuck. That would piss me off.
Did he say 5 minutes or 5 rolls?
It was either five rolls.
And
one roll was a minute and a half or 2 minutes.
No, 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes. I think it was 2 rolls.
And you remember how much
minutes.
they cost?
A lot.
They were if I remember right, and they were $60 to $80 a roll, and then you sent them off, and you had to pay like $120 to $160 to get them digitalized.
The analog to digital or whatever.
Yeah.
The digitization of your
So
phone.
like when we say like, you know, he raised that like X amount of money, but like he spent probably like $4,000 or $5,000 alone in film.
I couldn't even fucking imagine, dude.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's what, and we kind of we went and got drinks after the show or whatever, which was really nice to like hang out because I don't socialize often. So it's nice to get out of the house and do stuff like that. But like we were sitting down talking about it.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Wait. Woo. Dude, no, but we were sitting there talking, and like for both of you, it's just a fun note to make that like it took Thomas all that effort, Thomas Bernardin, all that effort for a year straight to make that film, or well, it was like 8 to 9 months or something, but like that was his job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you think you guys or one of you two or like you and a collective group of people could even film a movie? Like, could you even direct a film with your full-time job? Because you have a true full-time job.
I think what was cool about the premiere was, since it was local or whatever, you know, like, you know, we can go to a film premiere at a theater and there's a big long line and cool, whatever, but you don't get to talk to the people that made it. Whereas like people got to ask questions, which a lot of it was funny because like, I almost wish it was like a game show where like I'd be like, I know the answer, like because we asked half those questions on the podcast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like when they asked him, I was like, boom, I know it in my head, and then I could see like he took a minute to think about it, and then it was there. You know?
Yeah, like his favorite directors. I already knew the guy who directed Interstellar. I've already forgotten his name, but the director from Interstellar is one of his go-tos.
But I was gonna say, like with what Thomas said was like one of the biggest things was like planning, and I was telling Mike, I was like, you know, mine takes place in like fall/winter time. You know, I was like, I could do like if you had like I've got 8 months till winter, you know what I mean? Like I could technically schedule it out and give people dates, you know, take this weekend off, this weekend off, this weekend off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And knock out a day or two of nonstop filming and probably do it. But I was going to ask is, Mike, after going to the film premiere, did you go and reread your script or make any adjustments in yours?
I didn't make any adjustments. I did reread it and maybe got a few ideas that I wouldn't mind changing. I just need more filler throughout the movie, I think, because I think I skip kind of real fast.
Do you think you were almost writing it as like, not like a script, but like a short novel at first, and then like now you got to go back in and add just like the little bitty details of like I want this specific close up, or I want this.
Yeah, I think most of it was I just wanted to hurry up and get it done because like I knew the story, I knew exactly how I wanted to do it. I just didn't have an ending. Then once I got the ending, then it was just golden at that point. But I wanted to hurry up and just send my stuff into all these film festivals, you know, not really knowing anything, going in blind. But at the same time, I just wanted to hurry up and just get it done.
Right.
And then I started reading about a lot of these people that write stories and stuff. It takes them like years to do this, and this story took me almost 3 years to write. So, and I think it ended up being like around 60 pages or so.
Golly, dude.
So it was.
You think and that's the like the pre-slab, like leading up to the slab and the post-slab. That's everything. That's the whole story. 60 pages.
Yeah. So that was everything. Yeah, it was about 60 pages. But a lot of it was like I had ideas. I just didn't want to use those because I felt like I was just going to rush it and I was just going to make it shit at that point.
Yeah.
So it had to be perfect. I would come up with something. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good, but it's not quite what I'm looking for.
Not just right.
Yeah. And then I would be driving, shower, shitting, whatever. And then
touch
all
my
of a sudden,
wiener.
Yeah.
Like,
scratching the old belly button.
That's it.
And then it just leads down south after
That's
that.
it. There's that pocket lint
Yeah.
I was looking for. That's it.
But yeah, it's like once I would come up with something, then I was like, then I would try to hurry up and just write it down, and I would save it, and then maybe it might be another 2 weeks before I'd start writing again.
Thomas likes to ask often, do you use, like when you were working on writing your film, Jesus fuck, why can I not think straight, dude? It's like I talk totally fine, normal to you leading up to the show, and then we hit start and I'm like fuck, dude. No, yeah, exactly. But no, do you find that you were using memos on your phone. Not memos, but what do you call it?
Well, yeah, like you can use voice memo or the notes on your phone. But
yeah,
like,
do you do notes or voice memos on your phone when you were like?
Yeah. No, I didn't use any of that.
But you did write the entire. That's what like one thing I like to point out too is like we spend so much money on our phones.
Yeah.
So much money on our phones. We do. But like we don't even get the full benefit of everything our phones can do. You know what I mean? And like that's what I've been trying to learn too is like I may not like people used to carry a little pocketbook and they'd write down their ideas. People still do, and I think that's dope. But like I spent way too much money on my phone, so like I'm going to use that aspect. But like there's people
Use it up, dude.
like if you're driving and you get an idea and you can just be like, hey, blah blah blah, like voice memo. You know what I mean? And then just say whatever, and then
he's a Siri guy.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say it because I didn't want mine to go off.
Oh yeah, dude, fuck that trick. Dude, she's such a whore. Dude, did you see that Alexa had projected World War III to start on November 23rd, 2023?
No.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure The Simpsons has it predicted too.
I wonder if it's close to that time frame.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
I did hear about there's some sort of time traveler that's saying that somebody is going to announce that they faked their death. Did you guys hear about that?
Is it from Russia? Is he the Russian cat or like from East Europe?
It's something, I mean, from like, I don't know, 2080 or 3000. It's like very far away, but yeah. And then a lot of people were saying it's some rapper or it's going to be Michael Jackson that comes back and says that they faked their death. But it's supposed to happen like this year in June or something. Like they're going to come out of the woods and be like, yep, it was all fake.
Yeah, they're going to come out of their bunker in fucking East Cuba or something.
It is nuts though. I was watching bunker videos today of like these, like they got like condos for billionaires in these bunkers.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
so like you can just rent a condo that's basically in a bunker and you got it in case, you know, the world ends or whatever.
That's pretty fucking
It's got,
sick,
like,
actually.
full robotic, like armed system. You got like, it's got like an inside command center and it's got basically, the guy was like, yeah, it's basically like this is a video game for us. There's drone basically footage and you just control the guns. And he's like, we'll mow down hundreds of people if they.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
That shit gets me fucking hard.
They're building like 6 more centers. This one's in an abandoned. This one's in an old nuclear silo.
Fucking chubbed up, dude. You keep talking. I'm gonna get some fucking pre-jack going.
But no, like it's crazy to think about those. Like as much as like people get on the conspiracies of like the end of the world and stuff. Like
I don't think it's that crazy.
I mean, I think it could be in our lifetime, maybe in a way. You know, like the Euphrates is drying up, and like the Middle East is boiling over. And then you got like China, Taiwan, or
Tijuana.
Yeah,
Tijuana.
It reminds me of that fucking that Good Friends comedy.
And then you got, you know, Russia, Ukraine, and then you got like Japan doubling their military. It's like it's just a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting. Something's gonna happen. Someone is gonna get assassinated.
All the fucking internal dilemma and like the sides in the U.S. Like it's nuts.
Oh, like the U.S.
polarization
tearing itself apart.
Yeah. Just like the ripping.
I wonder if it'll take, because generally a larger war is kicked off by like a major act, and it's usually an assassination. Usually in history, I wonder who gets capped. President of Taiwan, maybe. And then that just fucking. That's the fucking.
Where's the Dalai Lama from?
Yeah.
Taiwan?
No, I think that's India.
Yeah,
I think Dalai Lama's Indian. Because they're Buddhist.
I think it's just going to be more of a people and not political. Yeah, I think it's going to be more of a like the citizens.
Well, typically the way it has happened in history is like the guy who started World War II was the guy who killed Archduke Ferdinand and his wife in a drive-by type situation. But there's like conspiracies that guy was paid by
well, I wouldn't think it would necessarily be an assassination, like the Twin Towers. Would you consider that an assassination? Because that low-key brought us to
that's just a terrorist attack. Yeah, an assassination is like killing of someone.
Or like,
a leader.
I would think technically, in my mind, as an American Pearl Harbor took us into World War II.
It did. Yeah, it did. 100%. But we
not
started
an assassination.
We started. Yeah, but World War II started because of an assassination.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, typically it goes that way. I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. But something big is going to happen, and I'm hoping that it's not to anywhere in the U.S. I hope it doesn't affect us.
I'm thinking about doing Ramadan this year.
What does that mean?
It's like, you know how like Mardi Gras is going on?
But is that like, right now?
It's about to be this next week.
Yeah, like first week of March.
But like Ramadan is a whole month, but if the Islamic calendar follows the moon. So
it does.
Yeah, so it's almost like what's that Tyson guy that was just talking to Rogan?
Tyson Chicken.
Real smart guy. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, the one that we were
just
talking about.
He said that like if we followed the new year based on our cycle around the earth, it would be like every 10 to 14 days different every year. So Ramadan's on the moon cycle, so it's similar where it changes every year. It falls into different times.
Yeah.
I think in this month it's like somewhere in April to May, like it falls in between half and half. But basically, like you don't eat from sun up to sundown, so you got to eat.
Ramadan. Yeah.
You got to eat basically once the sun's down, and then I think there's like a specific diet you're supposed to follow, and only like a certain like in a week of that time, I think you're supposed to go on like a liquids only fast for like 1 week of it.
So basically, be a crackhead,
dude. That's what's honestly, if you're looking to shed some lbs, dude. If you're looking to shed some lbs, you go to the old Rami, dude.
Yeah.
What?
Also in October,
I'm gonna start my own fucking keto diet. I'm just gonna call it Rami.
In October
just Ramadan.
Rami ramen.
In October, the Islamic community here in Evansville gets together and they throw like a festival where they have like a whole bunch of like Middle Eastern food.
That fucking mosque is beautiful in fucking Warwick County.
Well, okay, the mosque or the Hindu temple?
The one on the right. The one that's been there. It's the mosque.
Okay, yeah,
it's the one on the right.
Well, the Hindu temple's been there forever, and they just now opened it.
I saw the pictures of the Hindu temple. It's fucking gorgeous too. Like their foyer when you walk in is like marble with like cut stones in the fucking marble.
All the statues are just like phenomenal.
Yeah, it took like 6 years to build it or something.
Is that the one that's there off of Grimm Road?
No, that's over.
No, this is farther down. That's the mosque.
Okay,
yeah, the mosque is beautiful though.
But this one is out down like almost to Alcoa Highway past Castle, but it's not like to Alcoa Highway. I forget the road there.
Was that you that I heard
it's almost by Friedman Park.
Okay, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That one's I've never seen it inside, but the outside, like I'm always amazed by it. Every time I'm always afraid I'm gonna run off the road because I'm just looking at it. I'm like, man, it's beautiful.
And like I wonder, so like if you go to India or whatever, like a custom, you're supposed to like walk around it counterclockwise like 4 or 5 times before you go in. I wonder if you have to do something like that.
Really?
Like here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm not like up on the Islam religion.
Well, that's not Islam. That's
you're talking about
that's Hindu.
The Hindu.
And my guy said he might be able to bring me back some honey.
Your fucking guy. He's got a honey guy.
A honey guy.
Have you seen Have you seen the honey from India?
No.
Okay.
No. Did you know you can eat honeycombs? Like the whole ass cone?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could eat the honeycomb.
Bees and everything.
Yeah, cereal.
They just fucking chomp down on a couple fucking stingers, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, we got to do the death of the week. Are we going to roll into this?
Yeah.
Or do you just want to fucking ruin the whole show?
Do the death of the week. I wish we could pause it so you could see this honey.
We're 20 minutes in and we're just now starting the death of the week. God damn it, Thomas. This is why you would make a shit producer. God. This week's Death of the Week
brought to you by the Days Grimm podcast. Check out our website at thedaysgrimm.com. Scroll it around. There's some cool merch. Patreon coming soon.
And we also have a new rule. If you're a guest on our show, you just have to buy something now. So I'm sorry, Mike. It's not up to me. It's not up to me.
Yeah.
So thedaysgrimm.com. Check it out, dude. Get you a super sick mug.
Yeah, if you want to sit in on an episode, $10. We'll put you in a corner.
Sit your fancy new mug on one of Corn Dog Development's super sick coasters. Go there. Link in the description on Etsy. Promo code DaysGrimm saves 10% on everything that he makes. This week's Death of the Week. Man drowns after fall into cat bowl. I'm going to explain how I found this story and why I went with this story, but let's go through it first, shall we? So this week's Death of the Week. A Reefton man died after he fell on ice and drowned in his cat's water bowl. Aged 28, slipped while walking down his back door ramp to feed his cat Piper. His mother, Gil Robinson, found him lying unconscious, face down and 4 centimeters, so he's probably fucking European with this 4 centimeter bullshit. 4 centimeters, which is not that much, it's like this much. 4 centimeters worth of water in the plastic cat bowl. A Westport inquest by coroner Peter Roselli found that Mr. drowned after a significant head injury on July 5. Mrs. Robinson said the ramp was covered with about 3 centimeters of ice after a week of
1 less centimeter than what he drowned in.
She had left the house for only 15 minutes when the tragedy happened. She believes her son went out to feed... It's important that I read this whole article too, by the way. She believes that her son went out to feed the cat, slipped, hit his head on the concrete ramp, and fell into the bowl of water, which was just deep enough for him to breathe the water into his lungs. Moreover, Piper was given to Mr. Robinson as a kitten 9 months earlier when he moved to his family home after he became bedridden with back pain. A curve in his spine had forced him to give up coaching swimming lessons and cut short his dreams of becoming a primary school teacher. Turn that down. He had been away from his Reefton home for 7 years while he completed a Bachelor of Arts degree and a Master's degree in political science at Canterbury University. Mrs. Robinson said the curve in his spine affected his balance and the medication for his pain made it worse. Her son died 2 weeks before he was due to have his spine fused by a specialist. He had balance problems since he was born without an ear, a rare problem that affects only 1 out of about 1,000 babies. An artificial ear was fitted when he was 5 years old. This poor son of a bitch.
Wow.
Has had a fucking run.
Do your ears not grow as you age?
No. Like, if you're born without a fucking ear, you're born without a fucking ear.
Yeah, but I'm saying like a 5-year-old ear versus like a 30-year-old ear. It's got to be different, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, is he getting his
100%.
ear upgraded with age, or did they slap an adult ear on a 5-year-old?
Maybe he just upgraded over the years. I don't know. Like, hey, let me get a 2015 model or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Hey, I'm getting 60 now and my lobes haven't dropped a bit. Can I get the upgrade?
Yeah, dude, I turned 18 and my lobes haven't dropped yet.
You're like, sorry, we haven't had anybody, donate ears in a while. We've got these that have been gauged out. So you got to...
Hold on. I'm looking. I have a ruler up here somewhere just to like...
Oh, I can show you what 4 centimeters looks like.
No, this is just inches because we're American. Fucking Euro.
But yeah, it's not much.
It's literally like this much water.
But also, like...
I have to tell you how I found the article also. If you'll recall, our death of the week that we went through the last time you came on, a lady died from getting soup injected into her fucking arteries. You remember this, Thomas?
Yeah.
Some nurse fucking hangs a bag of soup as this fucking lady's IV. Like, so that's how that lady died. So my goal was, I was thinking today, I was like, surely someone has drowned in a bowl of soup. And I was like, I'm going to find that death, and that's going to be my death of the week. Keep it soup-based.
Yeah.
So, this is the closest I could find.
But pretty close.
4 centimeters of fucking water, dude.
He slipped on 1 centimeter less than what he drowned in.
Of ice. Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Also, like...
Could you imagine fucking dying in a damn kitten bowl?
Well, I mean, I look at it like this. I look at it from a different picture. Mrs. Robinson
is a bad mom.
Thanks to you, Mrs. Robinson.
She, quote unquote, steps away for a moment, and then this happens. And he has all these problems. It sounds like to me that she just needed to get rid of the guy because he was a problem. And
honestly, like, fuck your kid, dude. If he's got all these health problems, you should have just shot him a long time ago. Yeah. Honestly. He's born without an ear?
Yeah, born without an ear.
You know what they do?
Can't walk right.
Yeah, can't walk right. Probably shitting up his back.
Yeah, dude. You know? Sideways because he's got a curved spine. Dude, also... Fun fact, you know what they do with, back to the kitten thing, you know what they do with kittens on the farm whenever they have litters and they fucking literally Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's like, why don't you just put your son in a bag and throw him in the river? This is probably getting darker than we want it to be.
Yeah.
That's this week's Death of the Week, brought to you by Corn Dog Development and thedaysgrimm.com. Check our merch out. Please buy something. We need to keep the lights on.
So since writing,
Farley. How the fuck was that? Also, hold on the Death of the Week, I have one more fucking thing that popped up while I was searching all this shit. Dude, did you know more people die from vending machines than they do shark attacks? Have you heard this stat before?
No.
I've got the facts. I literally found this. So this is a real fucking thing, and the icon or the image here explains it all. But yeah, like I was looking for a good Death of the Week, and basically this guy, what is this? This is slate.com. But he says, throughout the years, I've accumulated a few fun facts about sharks. They can detect electric fields. Their skeletons are composed of not bones, but cartilage and connective tissue, and their fins are inhumanely harvested for shark fin soup. All facts that I did not know. Also, I did not know that via National Geographic and The Guardian, they both claim that each year more people are killed by vending machines than sharks. I did not know that.
I can believe that because
people are fucking stupid.
Well, let's just say
Let me get that Snickers.
Yeah. Let's just say that once upon a time, I was working for the school. I go in, take a little break, and then I look at it, and it's one of those old school vending machines.
Yeah.
And I was like,
is it the one with the doors that you have to slide open?
No, I mean, it was just, it didn't have all that
automated shit. You had to put the change in and turn the coin in order to get
like
it
you
to
could
move.
literally like put your hand into the
And reach
door
up.
and reach up and get something on the bottom row.
Yeah, which was always the shitty stuff anyways, like Mentos.
Yeah, and free dent gum. This one
Free dent gum.
this one was pretty good because it had a shit ton of like honey buns.
Oh, on the bottom?
Oh yeah, on the bottom.
On
So I don't know who did this, but I mean this was back in the day.
Hats off to that guy.
So I was like, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I don't have any cash on me right now. You know, just following my dad's path.
It's in your genes, you know.
Following my dad's footsteps.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I could easily fit my skinny ass arm up in there and get me a honey bun and then go back to work. So I did that, and then my buddy's sitting there watching out for me, and all of a sudden he's like, I hear somebody. Well, then I quickly like try to remove my arm from there, and it's like caught. It's almost like in a vice grip. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, they're gonna catch me. And I was ready to just rip my arm off so I could get out of there. But it got loose, and I got 3 honey buns. So I mean,
you call it what you will. That's a fucking win, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But yeah, hey, maybe coming up very soon for Death of the Week. Spoiler alert: vending machine.
So at the end of your last episode, we talked about you submitting a short story. We talked about it a little bit.
We did talk about that on the show. What happened with
episode? Yeah.
So
who did you submit to? I don't recall if you remember.
They were just like just basically just all these state film festivals. Like they have them out in California. I mean, Chicago. It's all these like major cities and stuff. They just hold these different film festivals, and you can do it for like short stories, full script movies, like TV shows. I mean, you can basically do anything you want.
Do they have it set to where like you can just submit the story, like you don't want to be the director, just submit the story and let it get picked, or can you you also be allowed to be like, I want to submit this and be the director? Does that question make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but it wasn't anything like that. You're just basically just putting that story out there.
Really? Okay.
And then they would just pick it, and then usually they say almost everybody that makes it to the semifinals gets picked up by somebody. And so I was like, I felt like I had a really good story. Like I said earlier, it took me about 3 years to finally get it finished. Turned it into a couple of them. Took about, I think there was like 2 months before the deadline. So I waited back and then didn't get anything back. But I could have got feedback if I would have paid like an extra $200. But I mean, I don't have that kind of money, so.
Yeah, I don't got fucking. I also got film festival money. Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you?
But I also feel like there is a decent amount of local authors that, like T. Harriman or there's several others
Yeah,
like
dude.
you could reach out to and almost get that other feedback from somebody that's probably like T. Harriman has a Pulitzer nominee.
Pulitzer.
Isn't that what it said?
Pulitzer. She was nominated for a Pulitzer Award, which is an international award. It's a fucking big deal.
And she was in like the same competition with J.R.L. Tolkien.
J.K. Rowling.
Wasn't
it J.K. Rowling?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, Tolkien was a writer in the 60s who wrote the Lord of the Rings.
Then, yeah.
She was in the same competition as the woman who wrote...
Harry Potter.
Was it Harry Potter?
Isn't it the same lady?
Yeah, it was Harry Potter.
Okay.
Yeah, the lady who wrote that.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. I think it's...
But
Rowling.
like when you're writing this, like, and which... Going back to the phone thing, like there's script writers on your phone that you can use and write or whatever, which is like ease of access. You know what I mean? You can write anywhere. But like, so like sometimes like, so before my like started writing my short film thing, like I watched a few YouTube videos or something. Like what research did you do to write, or were you just getting thoughts on paper?
Yeah, so I looked at the YouTube thing, looked and seen like maybe how people wrote it, and then I just Googled like an app for writing movie scripts, and then I just downloaded the first one, and then I just kind of looked at how a few stories were wrote on what I seen online,
Like
and
how
then
they
I
were
just kind
formatted?
of and just did that, and then just kept it the same way throughout the whole script.
So you had nobody coaching you. Like you were doing all this independently.
Yeah,
all
I
your
never went to
research.
school for anything.
And,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you couldn't read until you were 23, right? Isn't that what you I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
joking.
22. So,
It was almost my 23rd birthday.
yeah.
But,
So,
well, you come from Kentucky, so I know.
oh yeah,
I
I
know-
don't like to bring it up that much.
Yeah, Marion, more
Yeah.
specifically.
Oh, yeah.
But down there, they don't have shoes and they don't know how to read. That's
No.
just what I've been told. Okay.
Well, here's the messed
Shout
up
out
thing.
to Jason Koger, dude. I
Yeah.
miss you, and you just had a birthday, dude. So congrats.
Yeah.
Also, another author that we know, Jason Koger. Did you happen to see this episode pop up,
No,
dude?
Way to go, Strider.
Oh, you are right. He had two. Sorry. Anyways, off the beaten path, but yeah, that dude's super dope. But anyways, so you're doing all this research independently, and you don't really know the first thing about writing a script. So you're just kind of having to like, what does a script look like? How did they flow? So when you look up like different scripts, are you looking up like famous stories, like famous movie scripts, or are you just looking up like
just anything that
B
I could.
movies, like shit
Yeah.
that was probably never made, or like
Yeah, I mean, and half the stuff didn't even have titles. I mean, I was just looking at just pages basically.
where do you
And
go to
then
find stuff like that?
just straight
Google?
up just Google and then images, and then I would look at actual pictures and photos of these scripts, and then I would just kind of.
Have you done this? Did you have to do kind of the same
Well,
kind
I
of research?
just kind of because mine's like his is a lot of words,
Character
You know
based.
what I mean? Yeah, and like so like you're writing Mike and then like what Mike says, and mine there's not necessarily a whole bunch of talking. You know what I mean? It's more.
Do we want to discuss? I mean, that's one thing that we could do today is like talk a little bit about your guys' scripts. Is that because have we done that on the show? Do you not want to do that on the show?
I don't think so.
You don't want to? Do you want to talk about what your idea was vaguely on
Yeah,
the
I
show?
mean, I get no problem.
I mean, I don't know if it'll ever come of anything, but
Yeah.
if you don't want to spoil it, obviously.
I feel if it doesn't, I still feel like I accomplished something because I still
Well, give me
finished
the
it.
give me the
Well, yeah.
gist.
Do you think you'll write another one, or are you still going to keep polishing the slab?
I would like to polish it, and then eventually I would just like to, if I can't get
Sell
anything done with it or sell it, I would just like to film it myself. I don't care if I'm doing it off of the iPhone and then just
Right. And
doing the movie
here's
maker
a-
on.
100%.
Here's another
yeah.
thing too, is so like I found a bunch of these old letters, old letters, like
I still have them here, by the way.
yeah. So and I still have some at home, and they're like written on like a steamboat freight log or whatever, and they're like poems and everything. And we're typing them up, and I want to make a physical copy book, even if it's just for myself, like not even to sell it, because I don't even know. I mean, clearly the author's not around, but I'm not related to him, so I don't want to like polish somebody else's work without giving
Yeah.
them credit or whatever,
No,
the
yeah.
family credit or something.
Right.
But like, I think I'll take it and I'll put like a paragraph or two, and then like a picture of the paragraph or two from the actual paper when I can scan it in. But I think I'll print it into a book just for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to have myself. But like, have you thought about doing that with like your own script?
Yeah, I've thought about that, and then also like after everybody listened to my podcast last time,
Which, by the way, you crushed it.
yeah,
Like, dude, no, like, honest to God, like, I was like, I'm gonna bring my buddy in. I told Thomas, I was like, this guy's story is fucking bonkers. Like, it's just insane. I more or less wanted you to come in so he could just hear your story. I was like, I did not think it was gonna like be one of our top selling pods, but we're not selling shit. But like, it really was one of our high hit pods. Like, you really did crush it, by the way. So just hats off to you,
thank you. Yeah, a lot of people tell me that should be turned into a movie, and I'm like, well, am I wasting my time writing this movie script and I should be doing like a movie about my life or something?
I don't think so. Don't say wasting your time. No, what you're doing is you're learning how to do something you've never done before. So what if the slab is just your foot in the door?
Yeah, your practice run.
Yeah, and you polish it and you make it. You get it to its full potential, if you will. Yeah. You maximize the potential on the slab, and then if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Do these film competitions? They go year round, don't they?
Oh yeah, they're all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, like, basically, you think now in the polishing process, and we can put you in touch with other people, but like, you think you'll send it out and get a few critiques and then polish it up and then enter it in and give yourself like a timeline this year, like by the end of the year, by like your New Year's resolution or whatever you want to call it, but like by 2024 I hope to enter it in another one or something.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to keep sending them in again. I think I just would feel more comfortable if I talk to somebody and then see if there's something I'm doing wrong. Right. There might be something just very small that once they open up, be like, oh, I don't like this format. Yeah, not picking this one.
Could be the other way. It could be like, it could be total. It could be something huge, and as soon as they see it, they're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, and they throw it out.
Yeah, because I didn't. I know they said something
pay to
about,
enter.
Yeah. So and they're usually about $40-$50 to enter it.
And you did 2 or 3 of them.
I did 4.
Wow. Yeah. So you're $200 deep, basically.
Yeah. And then I did I think 2 of them were international. So I figured, I was like, well, maybe I might have, a good shot.
That's so funny you say that. What was it? It was, anyway, so I was talking to somebody, and I can't remember if it was on the pod or just in a conversation, but like, Southeast Asia loves American culture, or loves American stories, American horror, American history. Like, Southeast Asia is big on our shit. Yeah, for whatever they love American culture. So like, that's actually
because we were slinging that dick back in Nam.
Yeah, dude, they don't want round 2. You know what I'm saying? They're like, fucking dude,
too buku,
too buku, bro, too buku. Dude, shout out to Vietnam, man. Damn. So you want to say it? I can already fucking feel you in the back. I can feel you inside me right now. So I don't even feel bad about hitting your thingy now.
Have you got like other ideas? You think, or do you think you'll write one on like your on our like the last episode?
Just my life?
Yeah.
Well, like there was a group of guys that whenever I was working with in production at my job, they kept telling me this, like, because I tell them all these stories all the time. They're like, man,
shut the fuck up.
They're like, you need to write a fucking book, man.
Oh, they believed you.
Yeah, they was like, you need to write a book. So I started writing a book, and I got about 5 chapters into it, and it was called Control Alt Delete.
I like story. I like that
story of Mike. But and then that's about as far as I got to, because then I started writing.
Right.
Dude, I tell you,
I think you should get back into it, even as like that's one thing too, is like I got chronic memory loss, if you know what I mean. It's chronic.
He smokes a lot of weed, dude.
But like,
dude, it is what it is. Let's not hide behind it.
Like, like I got memory loss, dog.
He's got fucking early onset dementia, dude.
They say I gave myself Alzheimer's. You know what I mean, for the last like 15 years.
Yeah, it's.
But no, like I think like I can barely remember parts of my childhood, but like as I think of them, I'm like, I would even like to make like my big thing is I don't want to be forgotten. You know what I mean? And so like I thought about taking like bullet points, and like as I think of things, like make bullet points, and then like eventually, like even if I'm 80 years old, like get them in like a timeline order and like make a book and give it to like my kid and be like, put this on the shelf. Like keep it with you, put it on the shelf.
So just fishing for the 100 or 200 people that'll actually listen to this podcast. Now, hopefully you've made it 40 minutes in, and if that's the case, I want to know: do you know someone in Evansville that is a what did you call him earlier? A shadow writer? Is that the proper term?
Ghostwriter, but they got like a specific term and that's not necessarily.
Do you know if you're hit us up in the comments or on the socials or whatever? Do you know somebody that has taken someone's story and written?
Yeah, so basically these people sit down and like you would tell your story and like normally it's recorded, either recorded or whatever
over several meetings.
And like David Goggins' books are written with one of these guys. So like they sit down and they have these discussions and they record it and then the guy types it up, whatever, and he's like, if you need like. As it's recorded, someone Goggins is telling the story. Like the guy can type up, word for word what was said, or everything along those lines.
It's a team effort. Like when they write something, he comes back and he says, "Hey, here's chapters 7 through 13. Tell me what you think." And then you read it and you're like, "I loved everything except chapter 8." Like Control, delete, do something different, whatever. Highlight this, do this, change this wording. You still have creative control, but all the heavy lifting is being done by another individual. Downside to that is. And again, please hit us up if you know somebody that does this kind of work, because I'd be interested. And I might even actually get a hold of Jason and his 2 that he used. But I want to know, like, what's their cut? What do you lose by getting that of your book sales once the final product is pushed out? Like, I wonder, what's the average payout? You think a quarter, 25%, 50%?
I'm sure there's an upfront cut with a back-end percentage.
Oh, certainly. And I just wonder what that is. So hit us up if you know somebody, dude. Seriously, like if you know someone that's written a book or something like that from someone else's story, let us know. I'm really curious about that. But that could be a route that you go, and you just meet up with this person over the course of a year and write a book together, basically. And they write it, and you just tell them the stories. Yeah. That might be something we're doing. But I really do, like, your story is fucking insane.
And it would be a good one. You know what I mean? Like, it would sell. You know what? Like,
what's your, so there's a likelihood that maybe someone's listening to this pod that didn't listen to, what did we say, episode 64?
64.
Yeah, episode 64, which was the first time you came in. Yeah. From that story, obviously you lived it. So do you have a favorite part of your life from, basically being born? So from Marion to Colorado, or to Florida, to Colorado, then back to Marion, then back to Colorado, and then like what in that story was like? I know it's like like none of it was great for you, but like, do you have a favorite story that you like to tell people, like that? You know what I mean? That when people ask you or whenever, do you have a favorite part of that story?
Yeah,
and what is it? And just in case someone's listening and they didn't hear episode 64.
Yeah, so anything that had to do with me and my dad. And I said it, I think mostly, for one, it was just fun as hell. Number 2, now that my dad's passed away, it's like I cherish all those moments that I had with him. So whenever I try to zone in on just a favorite one, it has to do with any of those multiple times, that I had a moment with my dad, and because I won't ever get those back, and...
Yeah, and that's I have not been through that. I can't even begin to imagine. My personal favorite one is when he comes to your high school graduation.
Yeah, and he was in disguise.
Yeah. I think I said something like, "Was he wearing a mustache?"
Yeah. No, he had a full beard. I don't think I talked about this on the podcast last time, but I remember I went with him to court one time, and
supporting dad.
Yeah, and the judge was going to give him like 3 months, and I think it was something to do with some like unpaid fines and stuff like that. And so she was like, she told him, she was like, "Mr. Farley," she goes, "How do you feel about 3 months?" And he goes, 3 months, I could do that standing on my head. And then she was like, "Okay." She goes, "Well, I'm going to give you another 3 months to get back on your feet. 6 months." Boom. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, Dad, it's a week before Father's Day.
Yeah, cunt.
So now I got to go in and see you in jail and put the old hand on the glass and stuff. And happy Father's Day.
You ever seen Cable Guy?
Oh, yeah.
The fucking
Billy.
Yeah. Oh, Billy. He fucking pops his nipple out. And God damn you. You fucking asshole.
The old nip. The nip slip.
Dude, honestly,
so also... how long have you been doing? Brian and I just found out that you've been doing. It's not karate. It's not jujitsu. What is it?
Oh, I mean, it's martial arts, but it's like 3 different martial arts that are squeezed in about an hour.
And how long have you been doing this?
So I actually started doing that about 10 years ago. And then once my son was born, I kind of got caught up in life and everything, and then I got put on a night shift schedule, and the classes were only offered during the evening time. So then I couldn't do it.
Off. Yeah.
So I took all that time off, and then my daughter was born and stuff. So I just life caught up. Well, now both of my kids are at an age like where they could do that stuff. And then so like I got in contact with, the same.
What is that? What's that minimum age roughly? Like 7, 6? 5?
So yeah, 5.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
I don't know because I don't have kids. Your son does martial arts.
He used to do karate. Now he does wrestling.
Okay, that's right. He's wrestling now. Sorry, not to cut you off.
Yeah,
Going to state next weekend.
Nice.
Shout out, dude.
There it is.
Shout out to B. He's out there crushing it.
Right.
But no, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry. But so roughly around 5. So you're basically getting them involved. Then.
Yeah. So my daughter, she's 7. She'll be 8 this year. And then my son, he'll be 13 this year. And so yeah, it's crazy that they're just moving on that
you showed
fast.
me a picture of your daughter, dude, and I think the last time I saw her, she was like 4.
Yeah.
She was like barely a fucking human being.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I think she was still on the tit. I was like, dude, what are we doing here? I was like, how old are you? She was just like walking around fucking eating Cheerios. I was like, dude, are you fucking 13 or are you 5? And she was like this big. You showed me a picture of her. Now she's like 6'3". She's like fucking 118 or something. Her bench press is like fucking 225.
And she is the funniest person that I know. I feel like if she was doing this podcast today, it would blow my episode 64 out of the fucking water.
We might book her, dude. Don't count it out yet.
Like, she is insane on some of the stuff that
we just interview a fucking 10-year-old. Like, hey, what's fucking geometry like, dude?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's insane. Like, just the amount of stuff.
You gotta get like that 7 age is a little bit better because like you're asking my son something and it's I don't know.
How old is B?
Yeah.
6. But he'll be like, we'd be like, what'd you do at school today? I don't know. You gotta fish, you gotta pry. And you're like, well, did you have art class? No, not today.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you have music class? Yeah, we had music class.
Well, what'd you do?
Right. And then he's like, I don't know. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
You know what I get from my daughter? I'm like, how was school today? Oh, it was pretty cool. We went to Disneyland. And I'm like, that's awesome. And I'm like, what else did you do? And she's like, oh, we went on a couple more field trips. And she'll go and just tell me this whole fucking day of just doing all this stuff. And then, and then
they're like,
my son's just like, bullshit, And then she's like, no, you don't even know because you don't go to school there anymore. And I'm just like,
they changed the curriculum, okay?
Yeah. Dude, we go to Disneyland twice a week. Shut up, dude.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's like the library's name, the Disneyland Library, Walt Disney Library.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I gotta say this, and I gotta say it now that it's over because I think they're wrapping up this week, or actually, I think tonight was the last night
of COVID.
No, well, I think they're coming back. I think COVID's coming back, dude. Round 2 with a vengeance too. It's going to be like COVID 23 and it's going to kill everybody. Hopefully,
somebody with COVID fucked the bat for revenge and contracted COVID too.
Their fucking bat semen got onto something like a pizza somewhere. No, but I thought about doing this bit for the podcast because I just thought it'd be funny as fuck to do, and I was honest to God. I only think of this because Chad brought it up last night when I was talking to him, but. Anyways, I was thinking about getting one ticket to go to Disney on Ice and just sit as a grown-ass man surrounded by kids and parents.
Pedo!
And then I was going to come on the pod and be like, yeah, I went to Disney on Ice. Yeah. It's fucking sick, dude.
Wore sunglasses the whole time.
And maybe even have like a selfie of me with Minnie Mouse or something, Mickey Mouse.
You probably wouldn't even make it before Dumbo came out, I would say.
Is it really bad? Have you gone?
No, I've never been.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But it's funny though. It would have been funny to be like, yeah, I went to Disney. Like when we banter in the beginning, be like, what'd you do this weekend? I fucking went to Disney on Ice. And then I was gonna plan.
You went to see the Wiggles.
I was gonna plan it. I was gonna plan it with you so you could like bait questions out, and I'd be like, no, I just went by myself. And you would be like, all right, dude.
How many kids did you take home?
Dude, oh my God. I'm fucking sad that I didn't do it because it was going to be so fucking funny.
I sat by the concession stand the whole time.
Just eating corn dogs.
I got way too drunk.
And Gave out a bunch of stickers.
Yeah.
I yelled at Goofy.
Corn dogs, popsicles, any basically just dick-shaped food.
Hey, kids, you see that dog talking? What the fuck? Like,
dude, what kind of foods are shaped like dicks? The best kind.
Oh, yeah.
The best kind.
Yeah.
Just go with a bunch of mouse traps and start leaving them out.
So you've been doing the karate thing now. It's not karate.
Yeah.
But I want to emphasize this because I have to say you're thinner than I saw you last. We haven't really seen each other other than a couple nights ago for Factors film premiere. I haven't seen you since the last pod, I don't think, right? Has it been that long?
There might have been one time I think I dropped something off to you, but I can't remember.
What the fuck was it?
I don't know.
But it wasn't long though. Like, we didn't sit and bullshit.
No.
But what's it been like getting back into it?
It's been really good. It's been motivating me to lose more weight because I ended up gaining a lot of weight because I ended up having knee surgery last year.
Meniscus.
And, so I had my meniscus was torn on each side. And then so they went in, repaired it, and then they also said I had they had severe arthritis in that knee.
Yeah, you old geriatric fuck.
Yeah, so I mean,
fucking dusty
liver
bitch.
spotted motherfucker.
Yeah. He's got a 5-year plan. What is it? Don't die.
Yeah. So they
Hey Sid, how's that 5-year plan treating you? Fucking flipping burgers.
Yeah, I was only out for like a month though, because I always told everybody it was because of my superior DNA. It just
Did you do anything?
I was out a month just for something like that, and I was back into martial arts.
In that month, did you work on any creative projects?
A lot of eating. A lot of eating.
I like that.
And scratching the old belly button.
Yeah, getting a lot of keeping that pocket lint, keeping that pocket lint out.
But no, seriously, like.
Did you do anything creative in your time off? Because you were off work as well, right?
No, I mean, really, I guess I just took advantage of it because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do something like that, just sit around and do it. So all I did was, I think I watched Trailer Park Boys.
Fuck yeah.
Like over and over again, and then just ate. And then I got up to the most weight that I've been at, and that was 245. And I could see it. Like, if you look at the old pictures of like around that time, I'm like, man, my face, just everything, my body. And I was like, it was almost like just sick. And then I was like, man, I gotta do something.
Isn't it weird how you will like fit and just shut the fuck up because you can't even chime in on this, you fucking survivor over here, dude. But like, isn't it weird how it like will literally sicken you? Like when you look at yourself. And you're not used to having that much weight on you. And
I bloat sometimes.
Shut the fuck up, dude. I knew he was going to have some fucking dumb shit to say. But like, when I hit...
I eat a lot of carbs and my skinny boy six-pack goes away. I feel like a fat piece of shit.
But like, before him and I were doing the triathlon, like right before I got married, I got up to 205. And I was like lifting a lot less. I was doing like almost no cardio. Like, this was the heaviest I had been in the least athletic state of my entire life at 205. Yeah. And I could see it. Like, I popped the top off, dude, and you were like, damn, daddy. Like, I looked like I had a dad body. And I was like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
And like, I literally got grossed out. And then immediately he was like, so do you want to do like a triathlon? And I was like, fucking didn't even hesitate. I was like, yeah, we're doing it. I was like, I got to get this off. Cardio is the way to do it. And then, like, I think in 12 months, I went from that 205 to 180.
Yeah.
And it was just like night and day difference looking in the mirror. Like, you could fucking see definition again. Like, I didn't have that fucking weird belly. And like,
that was
like you said, your face and your neck just, it feels thinner and lighter.
Yeah, my gut. But the thing that helped me with my midsection was I stopped drinking sodas.
That's a big one. Beer is a bad one too.
Yeah. And so every now and then I might have like one soda a week now.
Yeah.
And then maybe not even that. But I've noticed it, like, my stomach doesn't feel bloated anymore, like, from drinking all those sodas, 2 or 3, 20 ounces a day and stuff. And so, yeah, it's I just been trying to eat right.
Do you do more water now than you used to?
Yeah, water and green tea.
Green tea is a big one. There's a lot of good antioxidants and, like, micronutrients in green tea that are beneficial.
You said you clean up your diet a bit?
Yeah, because I was eating, like, a lot of junk food, a lot of Little Debbie's, a lot of,
Dude, fuck
just junk food.
Fuck Debbie.
Yeah. So
little cunt.
She broke my heart.
Dude, she's such a bitch. Dude, she'll make you feel good in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And then down the road, she fucking treats you like the dirty slut you are.
Oh, man.
She's such a fucking... shout out to Little Debbie, dude. They've been doing it right for a really long time. No, man, but yeah, it's weird that, like, I don't know, I just find that weird. And one day, maybe you'll put some weight on and you'll look at yourself in the mirror and you'll be like, oh, what the fuck? Because I know Corey, he's a skinny boy.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, wintertime, like right now when I can't bike outside, is when I'm at my least active, and I lost weight.
That makes sense. Less muscle, probably.
Yeah.
You just have and you're also younger though, too. You're 26.
Yeah, but I was also like a Ritalin child.
Are you 27?
I really don't get hungry often.
Yeah.
But I have found since like I significantly cut back. I quit basically smoking most of the weed.
He quit smoking most weed.
Yeah, most.
I don't know what that is, but it's
the Reggie stuff.
It's a catastrophic amount for people like us.
I cut back a lot. Like what both of you would probably smoke if you were stoners.
He cut out enough weed to probably kill both of us. Yeah. I think.
I cut out enough weed to buy a $500 chessboard. You know what I mean? Like, but I was gonna say like since then, like I think I am hungry more.
You think so?
I just get hungry whenever I get bored. I get bored quickly.
That too.
And once I get bored, then I'm like, I need to eat something.
Yeah, that's the hard thing.
Do you find anything to get over that? So like I was talking about like Ramadan. So like one specific part about Ramadan, but they're fasting. They're going to be hungry as fuck. You know what I mean? So
I was pitching Ramadan earlier.
But like they do that time. So like when they're hungry, they use that time to like focus on God or focus on, like Allah. Something else or like the Buddhist or whoever, they'll focus on like meditation in that time to bring them through being hungry.
Do Buddhists do Ramadan?
No. Okay. I used to, just like smoke weed instead of eat. You know what I mean? Forget that you're hungry.
Yeah.
Well, I find that, okay, there's two things.
Technically, that's not the real way. The cannabinoid receptors control your normal hunger. So, like, you have cannabinoid receptors even though you haven't smoked weed since you're born with cannabinoid receptors. But, like, when you smoke, it goes in and it fills those in. So, like, it'll fill in that spot. That's why, like, some people get hungry because it hits that chemical. But sometimes it'll just fill over that dome and then you're not hungry.
I do have a word.
So smoking weed.
I have
diet.
I have a word of wisdom for folks out there that do want to lose weight. And this is one thing that I heavily leaned on whenever I was training for the triathlon. If you need to up your caffeine intake. Up your caffeine intake with as minimal sugar as possible. That's fucking detrimental. Like taking as much coffee.
Drink some C4 Ultimates.
Green tea. Well, natural is the best way to go. Green tea, coffee, black tea, whatever. But do it with as little sugar as your taste buds can basically
handle.
handle.
Some cocoa leaves.
Whatever. Yeah. But basically, that's cocaine.
Yeah.
No, Jesus. I'm not an advocate for cocaine. Only here on the Days Grimm. No, but seriously, caffeine, upping your milligram of caffeine intake daily.
For that.
Yeah.
It's a big killer.
Shout out to Fairs Avenue.
Wait, do I have to beep?
I don't know.
Fuck.
I guess that's personal discretion.
I don't know, dude. Anyways.
Are we bleeping drugs now?
Yeah, dude. Are we bleeping prostitute? Lady of the evening. I fucking hate you. No, but up your caffeine intake. That will naturally help suppress your hunger. Moreover, with that, introduce more water into your diet
and walk
more water than you're okay with drinking. Like you should drink, like if you're being active, which if you're trying to lose weight, you're probably active. If you're active, you should be drinking a gallon of water a day. Like that should just be the minimum. Like that should just be like, if I worked out today, I need to wake up.
And don't force yourself to drink a gallon of water.
Not in one sitting, but throughout
No, I'm just saying even throughout the day.
You should. If you're active.
I mean,
if you're active, you need to drink.
Yeah, but your body will tell you when you're thirsty. I'm thirsty right now, you know what I mean? But yet I'm choosing to drink Terramana and lemonade. You know what I mean?
Bourbon, whatever. The ding-a-ling.
Yeah. Ding-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling, dude. Yeah, we're not sponsored by Yingling, but also shout out to them. No, but dude, yeah, so caffeine and water will be the two things, and staying active, obviously. If you can do all three of those things, you will see weight come off. And it depends on your regimen. Like if you're lifting a lot of weights, you're going to put weight on, but that's because of building muscle. But if in your case, you're just doing like martial arts and like a lot of striking, you're like cardio basically, you're going to lose weight.
Do you think the fact that you can't have a cell phone on you during martial arts is almost like
what the fuck?
Break?
Oh yeah, I'm good with not having the phone.
Well, that's what we were talking about. So like being more active is like also like go without your cell phone for a period of time.
Yeah, I could do that easily.
Yeah.
Especially because the world's ending, you know.
There is something really, really nice about, I love running. He loves biking. Those are like our parlays, you know, respectively. But like being outside and doing that stuff, I'll do it even when it's cold against my will. But like there's something to be said about just like being out in nature that I really like taking in the world's vibrations while I'm doing something positive for my body. It's weird, but like it puts me in, like when I'm done working out, like, yeah, it fucking sucks and I'm in pain and my chest is burning. But when I'm done and my heart rate settles down to normal and like I'm done working out and I've chilled out, like the rest of your day is just like euphoric. Like you just feel like, I don't know, there's something about the outdoor vibrations when they hit
you. The polar plunge next year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to just get out and do anything because I don't, besides work and in martial arts, that's really all I
You got to get out, man.
And so I'm usually just a homebody and it's not me because growing up, like I just had tons of friends that were coming in and out of the house and I was just always, and then like, I feel like once I left Marion and I came here, like I have a lot of friends and acquaintances, but I don't really have anybody come over. I don't really go out and do much. I mean,
that's just getting old, my dude.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's
like,
just,
that's just called being
I
old.
feel like you hit a certain point where like you almost want to bring back like game night or like Taco Tuesday or.
That's actually how this podcast started. Did we tell you about that? That's how this pod started, was Taco Tuesdays. Yeah. So we used to just do Taco Tuesdays every night at the Days house, at the Days household, and we would just have like multiple people come over and like, hey, we'll cook all the meat and everything. You guys just come over. If you're going to drink, bring your own booze or whatever, but like just hang out. And they would. And then it got to the point where Thomas and I would be like bullshitting off to the side. And we looked over and like everybody would be like looking at us listening. Like the conversation would have died down and it's just us talking. And we were like, hey, what if we did a podcast? And it just kind of turned into that, man. So I don't know, dude.
But yeah, if you want to drive me to chess clubs on Wednesday night, we can go to chess club.
Do you play chess?
No.
No? Have you ever?
Are there any games like that like you enjoy?
Not really.
You don't play games at all?
No.
What is wrong with you? You just enjoy being sad?
I don't know. Like,
what do you like to do in your?
I mean, if I play games, I mean, it's like Candyland with my daughter, you know. And
dude, Candyland, dude, yeah.
She keeps me on my toes pretty much 90% of the time. So
when you're playing Candyland,
well, just in general, just yeah. So like, I think that's where like a lot of my free time. I mean, I'm just doing stuff with the kids, you know, and I try to.
But do you think that keeps you creative? Because they're always in like their own world.
Oh yeah, because when we go downstairs to play, and then when we're down there, like she gets pretty bored of like some of the stuff that she already has. So I try to create new games. You know, I'm like, hey, let's do this, or hey, let's make some paper airplanes or something. You know, and then it's just bringing back some old school stuff that I remember, you know, playing as a kid. That, you know, because I was the only child growing up.
You had to be creative back then.
So I had to be creative, and then so I try to. What
was your favorite game that you made up when you were a kid that you played by yourself?
Ah, man. So that I would have to say that there was a game that me and my cousin created. And so like there was this person that we knew, her name was Maudie.
Maudie
the hottie, dude.
No, she was not.
Not a looker. Not a looker.
There was rumors she might have done something with her brother.
Hey,
but, it was Kentucky.
Yeah, it was Kentucky. But anyways,
no shoes, can't read.
Oh,
I get it.
God. So yeah, you just want to rub acid into the eyes. But so yeah, she was like this just really gross person, and me and my cousin we would throw these items back and forth to each other.
Yeah, and
if you dropped it, you had to like stick your head in like this bucket. There wasn't nothing in the bucket, but we just said it was probably just her fucking feces and everything else that belonged to her. And I know that that's probably pretty bad, but
yeah,
that was your favorite.
Yeah, that was probably the favorite game that we created.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I used to
obviously
take styrofoam cups and bowls and like lay them out in the room and like set them on top of each other and then like just throw change and try to land it like on the different ones.
But yeah, my favorite thing that I would probably do is just I'd just get like a wad of paper and just throw it into the washing machine from the hallway, because it was at the end of a long hallway, and I would just like just shoot him in there. And
I think my second favorite was in high school when you got the ID cards. And like me and a buddy would sit at the end of the hallway and we'd throw the ID cards at each other. Dude, you can get those bitches to stick in like a wall. Like, dude, you could
So my favorite game growing up as a kid was when I was in junior high, late junior high, early high school. And shout out to Jackass, Trump hands. Shout out to Jackass for giving. We didn't create the game, but we like to play nutball.
My old scoutmaster liked to play that with me.
Was he Catholic?
Yikes.
No.
Camp counselor Kyle? No, but you would sit with your, again, Trump hands. You would sit on the floor on your buttocks with your legs fanned out, and you would be sitting upright, and then your opposing player or whatever would be sitting across the way, seated the same way, and you would have one heavy object, and it would be just heavy enough that it would suck to get hit in the balls with it. And then you would just take turns launching it back and forth.
Who gets annihilated by the bone?
Yeah, dude. I got a paperweight in Spanish class straight to the fucking testico, dude. Fuck. It was blue for a week. My ball was blue for a week. I'm convinced that's why I'm sterile now.
I got hit in the nuts one time and passed out.
Yeah. I mean, you could hit it with a feather, and I mean, you're going down. And people don't understand that, you know.
Yeah. And by people, we mean women and children. Yeah. Women and children don't understand.
I mean, yeah, you could get thumped by one, and you're out. Yeah, you know, and then you're just like, oh, and you're like curling up to a fetal position, and
I got hit with a beer at. Oh, this is a fun game. Let's play this. What's the worst you've ever been hit in the balls?
I would say when I got kneed and passed out.
For you, what was yours? Do you have you have to have that moment of like, oh yeah, that one time?
Yeah, I think
it makes you think about going, you know.
It's ma'am.
Oh god, you're a piece of shit.
I'm gonna pretend like you didn't say that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it wasn't so much like being kicked or hit. It was I was riding so
hard. You're like, take these bitches away. Yeah. I don't want to experience this.
Yeah, I think it was riding a bike, and I fell off the seat and then just hit that bar, and then crashed into my trailer. But that's another thing. But anyways, just hitting that bar.
Did we talk about how I grew up in a trailer as a kid? Did we talk about that much?
So it was only for like a year, right?
No, I was like 3 when we moved out. But still, like we're on the same page, dude.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I smacked that thing hard.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. That fucking vinyl thing that covers the wheels, whatever that shit was called, the skirts or whatever.
Yeah.
Whack. Mine was a fucking a full Hams beer, unopened, at like 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like that dude was up a hill and I was down the hill, and he was fucking 50 feet or more away from me. That's how hard he had to throw it to get it to me.
And he's like, with gravity, you know, it falls at an extra 3.01%.
I buckle velocity. I'm standing under a tree, a maple tree, and it's like early spring, so there's no leaves yet. Like the leaves were just blooming. But like I'm standing under this tree, shirtless in some tiny shorts, and I'm like buckling down to catch this beer, and as it's coasting up into my, like, where I'm starting to get ready to catch it, it smacks a fucking limb and changes course immediately and like nosedives down as opposed to coming closer to my head. Nosedives down, smacks me right in the dong. Right in the dong. Right in the dong. Dude, it fucking... I was on the ground for a while. Were you there that day?
No.
I think you were.
I wasn't.
At Chad Harper's house? Shout out to Chad Harper, dude. Wow. Yeah. Bad, dude. Like 20 miles. I bet it was going 20 or 30 miles an hour.
Hear me out. Fucking you could never experience that again if you cut them off.
Yeah. Now, there was a time that I was afraid of getting my manhood grope touched or whatever it was. I think I might have.
Which you could also protect yourself from. If you cut them off.
Yeah. So, make it like a little keychain.
We're advocates for, the community. I don't even know, you can't come back from that, Thomas. There's no way to put a positive spin on that. So just shut the fuck up.
But we support you.
I went to Murray State University and went streaking. on New Year's Eve one night.
Sick, dude. Speaking of dadonga,
Yeah.
you were fucking flopping around, dude. What time of year is this?
New Year's Eve.
Fucking cold.
Oh yeah, it was cold.
So ice on the water.
All 4 centimeters, fucking loud and proud, dude.
Oh yeah, I told you I could tell you the 4 centimeters.
He's got a button dick, dude.
The little top hat.
You mean you were flopping your dong? It was like, no, there was no flopping, dude. It was very stationary. It was not moving.
That was a skin tag. I don't know. So I go there.
Stopped me and said, "Ma'am, where are your pants?"
So I go to. It was a place called Murray Place. It was like their dorms or whatever.
Oh, okay, sick.
And so whenever you walked out onto the balcony, you could see the courtyard. You faced the courtyard. So and then whenever you looked, you seen everybody else's balcony. It was just like a big U shape.
It's like like a quad.
Yeah. And so anyways, we heard a bunch of commotion, and I was like, man, it sounds like somebody might be going out there to fight. Look out there, go out to the balcony, and there's probably about 50 people down in this courtyard, and they're all like, half this group and then half this group. They're sitting there yelling at each other, like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up! I'm gonna fuck you up!" And I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "You know what would be funny if somebody just ran right through that crowd, butt fucking naked,
balls out."
Back then, I was known as that guy that you didn't dare me to do something because I would do it.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like,
somebody gave me $20 to just walk across a football field during a high school game. And I walked across the 50-yard line during a game while it was going. One on the other side did some jumping jacks and a few other things. And yeah, nothing ever happened.
Did you come back down the 50-yard line?
Yeah, I came back.
And on the field again? So twice you crossed the field?
Yeah, and nobody did it. The announcer said, pay no attention to the man walking across the field, and I'm like, thanks, you just made everybody look at me right now. And I was
Did you
like,
ever go streaking, Brian?
Yeah, I have, of course.
But yeah,
who do you think I am, dude?
But anyways, yeah. So they was like, oh, if anybody's gonna do it, it needs to be you.
Oh yeah.
So all I had was my Pumas on and a sock hat, and I ran right through them guys.
That's a bold strategy, but also that begs the question: does it count as streaking if you're not in your God-given birthday suit? Like, since you had shoes and a beanie on, is it still streaking?
I
think so.
Yeah, I think the streaking is just having no pants and underwear on.
Okay, that's fair. So could you do it with a top on then? Could you just shirt dick it? Could you shirt dick it, and that's technically streaking?
No, I don't think so either. I think the shirt's got to be out too. I think you can have underwear. You can have a sock hat, cowboy hat, whatever.
Accessories. Yeah. You can accessorize your streak.
Yeah,
if you will. Yeah. So a nice bracelet, an Apple Watch,
a belt.
Let's not get into the specifics.
Necktie.
Yeah, dude, this guy with a fucking bow tie just came flying through here, dude.
It wouldn't be a bow tie. I think anybody that knows how to tie a bow tie died in the 1920s. I don't think there's...
Dude, I know one guy, dude.
Oh, there's one guy.
They normally come pre-done, and you just clip it.
I got a bow tie guy.
Oh, man.
Dude, he was notorious. He went to U of E with me. He's actually, congratulations to him. He's a doctor in Illinois now. But he went to SIU for
he's
doctor.
Getting fucked on taxes.
Oh, for sure, dude. But also, I'm pretty sure he's allowed to smoke weed.
I mean, a lot of gunshot victims. It probably stays busy.
Yeah.
Facts. Finger guns. But
no, real guns.
He would also real guns as well. He would notoriously was it Thursdays or Fridays, end of the week basically at U of E, we had physics together, but at the end of the week he would always wear a bow tie. And I asked him one time, I was like, "What's the deal with the bow tie?" He was like, "Well, I learned how to tie one and now I just show off." And like people think it's a clip on, and then I undo it and then do it again in front of them, and they're like, "Let me suck your dick." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fair, dude. That's fair." So I do know a guy. I got a bow tie guy.
Yeah.
Dead serious, man.
Yeah, whenever I ran through those 50 people, everybody's like, "What the fuck?" And then everybody's like laughing and shit. I'm hoping that they were just laughing because I had enough balls to do that and not because of my 4 centimeters.
Yeah. Of course, that's what you hope.
Yeah, that's what I hope.
Yeah.
And I'm also glad that there wasn't any cell phones back then.
Right.
A fucking BlackBerry.
Yeah, because, that wouldn't have been able to work. But, so I ran right through them, and I started to run back, and all of a sudden I heard, like, these heavy footsteps.
Oh, no. Boots.
And I'm just kind of, like, jogging just nicely at this moment. And all of a sudden I turn around and look back, and this dude's chasing me, and he's like, "I'm going to spank that little ass of yours." I've never ran so fucking fast in my life after that.
Dude, that's a prison situation.
I ran so fast and went up these 4 flights of stairs because it was the top apartment. And I mean, I ran and I was pounding on that door. I was like, let me in. And then
just holding your fucking.
Yeah. So then, everybody was like, so the whole Jackass thing was big back then.
Oh, yeah. It was huge.
I don't know if you remember one of the guys from the show, that Chris Rab, the Rab himself.
Oh, yeah.
So somebody kept trying to figure out who the streaker was. Well, they didn't want to say my name, so they just said, oh, it's Chris Rab. And then so we start hearing this chant, and we go back out to the balcony, and everybody's out there on their balcony, and then they're going, Rab, Rab, Rab. They want me to do an encore, so I'm like, I can't, deny the fans. So I go back out and I do it a second time.
Oh God!
This time I do a few cartwheels and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And
get a little extra motion.
Yeah. So then, but nobody was really out there. They were just out there on their balconies. Came back and someone was like, "Man, I can't believe that you weren't worried about campus police." I forgot all about campus police. My mind just like.
Take your pants off and go
run. I'm just like, I'm going to run. And I was like, oh, shit, yeah. We have fucking laws here. I was like, I just totally forgot. But then
I forgot I'm not in Afghanistan right now.
Sewing soccer balls, It's like, but we went to one of the other parties, and one of my buddies was like, man, did you guys see the streaker? And then they're like, oh, yeah, man, that guy was awesome. And he's like, dude, it's my buddy. And then he
dropped the dime?
Yeah. So he was like, dude, he goes, anything you want to drink at my party, it's on us. He goes, dude, you are a fucking legend for doing that.
That's what's up, man.
So yeah.
There's something to be said about that legend. You know what I mean? Like that we all knew one either in high school or in college, but like I knew one in high school. His name was Brian Day.
Tito.
I was the same way, dude. I would do the dumbest shit, dude.
Yeah.
I think I fucking caught my leg on fire one time, like kicking a thing of Everclear
freak
over.
People out when you jump through a fire.
Yeah, I've jumped through fires. Yeah,
dipping my hands in kerosene and then lighting it on fire just for cool photos. Because
the flash,
because all it does, it just burns it off. It don't really burn your skin. It just burns that off, and then once it's off, then it goes out.
It's just so happens to be that you don't have fingerprints anymore.
Yeah.
So but it's a win-win coming from the line of work that your dad comes from.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's a win-win, really.
Oh yeah,
cool pictures, and they can't trace me.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
So it's been a year since we've seen you, dude. What do you think the biggest change has been in the year that you've been since we've I say we, but like the podcast. So what's the biggest change you think you've made in the last year, I guess?
Basically just getting back into the martial arts, doing something for myself. I'm one of those people that just always try to help everybody out. I think because I was in the situation growing up and stuff, I want to help everybody that I can. And a lot of times I get so caught up that I forget to make myself happy sometimes. Sometimes I just need to take a few steps back and do a few things for myself. And so, I really enjoy doing the martial arts and everything right now.
And your daughter does too. Jesus
and
Christ.
my son.
You
so
said,
all three of us do it.
All three of you guys.
Yep.
You said she's basically a fucking Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
You walked in on her hanging from the curtains doing upside down chin-ups or sit-ups.
It was the
dude, listen
the
to
closet.
this.
Yeah, the closet bar where all her clothes were on.
Yeah.
We kept hearing this bang sound, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" So we go in there and we look. All her clothes are pulled off the bar and just laying on her bed, and then she has her legs draped over
curled over the bar.
Yeah, curled over the bar, and she's doing full sit-up extensions. I mean, it's nothing.
Is her last name Goggins, dude?
Yeah. But I mean, it's good Lord.
Is she a bald African-American man?
Yeah, I don't know. But and what's weird is she always talks about different things. She was like, she goes, I used to do that in my past life.
Dude, there's a bunch of kids that say stuff like that.
Yeah, and then we drove past a cemetery one time, and then she said, she goes, that's where my friend so-and-so is buried.
You should have pulled in.
And then I was like,
that's one thing that you and I get down on together is the weird occult shit. Yeah. I'm into it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
are too.
Oh yeah.
What's
Are you into the occult shit?
I don't know.
the world between us?
Well, yeah, I think there's something there.
Between the dead and the living, there's something in between there. There's got to be a medium, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
so that's what my whole story is about that kind of stuff.
That the in between,
the paranormal.
But just to go back to what your daughter said, and just a fun thought, like, what if we do live multiple lives, right? Just hear me out. And like the day you're born, like you remember your previous life 100%. Right. And then every day you age, you just get further and further away from that past life and you forget more and more and more. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And maybe a fucking 6-year-old still has like 80% of their memory from their past life. I don't know. Like,
yeah. She not so much anymore, but a few years ago, I mean, she used to talk about some crazy shit, like just shit that would just make the hair on your back of your neck just stand straight up.
It's crazy, dude. Also, kids are just fucking innately fucking creepy.
But though. What do you think are some of your goals going into this next year?
2023.
I would definitely like to do something with that screenplay that I wrote, whether it be just entering it in more festivals or just making it myself. And like I said, just making it, because I feel like it's a strong story. I feel like, because I've let a few people listen to or read it, and they've said that like it just makes their their hair stand. They're just like, man, it's like that's creepy. Some of those things on her just creep me the hell out, and so I feel like I've got something good going. I just need to just polish it. I just need to make it complete it. And
Ken, I don't know how much longer we can run into the time, but do you care if we do a quick synopsis of the Slab? Do you care?
Yeah, if he wants to.
Do you want to give us like the gist of this, like a quick summation of what is the Slab? Or if you don't want to talk about it, that's cool too.
No, I can. Yeah,
but like just like a brief, like, hey, here's start, middle, and if you don't want to say the end, you don't have to say the end. But
yeah, so I mean, basically, it starts out with a group of friends that are living in just a very small town that just dead end. I mean, there's nothing fun to do, and then it's getting
place is called Marion, Kentucky.
Oh yeah. So I mean, basically, the beginning of the movie is all based upon true events. Mm-hmm. Once it gets into the middle and end, it's kind of like I've created all that, just by going off of it. But everything from the beginning is there's a lot of truth in that.
Factoids.
Yeah. So they're just one person ends up coming up with an idea of just going to cemeteries and trying to find like the oldest, headstone and stuff, and just doing stuff like that around Halloween, and because it was just that time of the year, we could do something like that. And then we started doing a few things, and one night, whenever everybody's there, like some weird things start happening, and then we run into a few people in town, and they're like, oh, if you're really wanting to do something cool, you guys need to go down to the Slab. The Slab was like a, Slab was like a homemade, it was like a concrete bridge that somebody made just over this creek that ran through like one of the old side roads. So a lot of people would just go down there and park and party and stuff back in the day. And there was like an old tale, like if you parked your car on there and turned everything off, you could hear something come up out of the water, and then knock on the doors and stuff of the car. And so we ended up doing that, and we actually heard it. We ended up going back a second night because we thought somebody might have been doing it. And then so we made everybody put their hands like on the dash and back of the seat, and we still heard it. And then so it's like a lot of things start happening, possession, everything starts going on. Then it goes into like the modern time period, and then there was always a saying, if you're ever possessed, you like the priests
chances
and stuff,
of like repossession or whatever.
Yeah, they said that the demon that possesses you will make it to where you never forget.
Ooh.
And then that like really set with me. And then after all these years, like I felt like it was coming back, and it was letting me know, like, yeah, just in case you forgot about me, I'm still here.
What's up, bruh?
Yeah. And then so like then a bunch of others, strange things starts happening, at the house and everything. And then I have to try to figure out a way to get rid of it the second time and everything. And then
to make it stop reminding you.
Yeah. And then there's like a lot of a lot of like twists and turns throughout the movie and stuff. Like old friends from the beginning of the movie show up at in the toward the end and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's really interesting. I think I just need to get some notes from somebody,
someone who's done screenplay before or
that would be
scripts
interesting.
before.
Like if like one of the friends died previously, to have them like appear.
Yeah,
like on the normal, as if like they're there, but like a little aged or whatever, and then like as all the other friends are there, and then at like the end, like you realize like the friend's not there.
Yeah, because one of my friends, I asked him about some like the whole possession night. I was like, man, do you remember what happened that night? And he goes, dude, don't fucking talk about that ever again. Like, and this dude was a tough dude, and he didn't want me talking about it. He said that night he'll never forget, and he don't want to talk about it.
Was there like a priest involved?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so much like a Catholic priest. It was more of like a deacons of. It was a non-denominational church.
Okay,
but it was.
But they did get involved with Homeboy.
Oh yeah, they got involved a lot. It was very crazy.
Yeah, and you were there. Like, were you there for it, or like the night that happened?
Yeah, because it was me.
No, in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Jesus, fucking ballsack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The whole beginning part of that is everything that happened with me, and
then in the screenplay. So, would you play yourself? You think, or would you?
Yeah, the main character is based upon myself.
Okay.
If I had the opportunity to play that, I mean, obviously I couldn't play the younger version, but I mean, I would be open and love to play like the now version. Yeah. Because I mean, that's from it'll switch like after the possession, everything happens, and the exorcism, all that. After all that, it goes into
it goes forward.
Yeah, it goes forward to like modern day. Like so yeah, it's I was afraid to kind of talk about it a lot because a lot of people don't believe in that stuff, and then whenever you tell somebody about that stuff, there's like bullshit. I don't believe in it. So a lot of times I just keep it to myself about stuff like that.
My theory is that I've heard 1,000,005 different stories, and out of the 1,000,005 that I've heard, are they far-fetched? Yes. Is it likely it's bullshit? Yes. Like, are these people grabbing for attention? Probably. Like, not all of them, but a lot of them. But all it takes is the 1 out of 1,000,005 for that person to be like wholeheartedly telling the 100% objective truth. And if that's the fact, then that opens up a whole door of like, then if that one story is real, then like who's to say, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like all it takes is one out of all the crazy stories you've ever heard, just the one.
Yeah, because a lot of it, I can't really even tell how it went down. I had to ask the people that were there because it was almost like a youth night. There was a bunch of people from the church and they were having like this little meeting, and then all the kids and stuff were there. And then I ended up showing up after a bunch of crazy shit that happened. And once everything hit, then that's whenever I had to depend on my friends that were there to tell me what happened, because I just blacked out at that point.
It's intense, man.
Yeah.
All it takes is that one story. And you're on the fence? You're not sold one way or the other?
What do you mean?
With like ghosts and demons and
I think it exists.
You think they
can't
could
have one without the other? So
yeah, you have to have like if you believe in demons, you have to believe in a higher power, or at least an objecting power.
Yeah,
that's pretty intense.
Or energy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's intense, dude. So your goal for 2023: push a little bit more on the screenplay.
Yeah, the screenplay, just continuing doing the martial arts, getting up in rank. Yeah, because I really enjoy that.
What belt are you again?
Blue
belt.
Yeah,
and that's 4 or 5 in now, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I still have a long ways to go, but I mean, I felt like if I would have stuck with it from back in the day, then obviously I would have been a black belt by now. But
yeah, it takes time.
And what I like about it is it's an organization that you have to work your ass off to get that. I feel like I'm not going to go and then as long as I pay my monthly dues, I get it at the end of the year.
100%.
It's legit. Like you have to work your ass off to get it, and that's what I like about it because it motivates me, pushes me to be a lot harder on myself.
Yeah, martial arts is great about that. Like you get in or you get out what you put in, the more hours you spend in the gym, the more belts you're going to jump, so on and so forth. Yeah. I'm excited for you, man. And honestly, slightly jealous. I want to get into the martial arts of some sort, just because, like you said, it'd be a good challenge, just something to have like in the not necessarily the background, but just something to keep me physically challenged and keep going.
Well, we have our next testing is March 4th. And if I end up getting called up to do that testing, I'll let you guys know. If you guys are free for that couple hours, then
you have to
come and check it
out. Yeah, for sure. Watch you snap some dicks, boards, whatever it is. We like snapping dicks here at the Days Grimm, dude. I don't know, man. So I guess in the last year, have you had like a new moment
problem you've had to overcome
that has challenged you? And not necessarily, you don't have to get so specific into the moment that maybe that was like challenging or dark or whatever it may have been.
Was it that surgery? You had surgery this year?
Yeah.
Was that like...
Yeah, that was last August.
What kind of pushed you through, getting better in 4 weeks? Like, did you have something like in your forethought that was like, that was driving you to like, all right, I need to do this to get better and I need to do this rehab? And like, did you have something that was like almost like a driver?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I did PT twice a week. And I started like 2 days after surgery. So, I mean, it was like right off the bat, I just started. I thought I was going to be out for a little bit before.
Did they prehab you? Did you pre-rehab before the surgery? Did they do anything like that with you?
No.
I've heard some people talk about that before. But anyways, so what was pulling you through, keeping you driving? What was your driver through those 4 weeks, I guess?
I mean, I guess I feel like at home I'm kind of like the quarterback, like I have to call them game-winning shots, and I have to do, and if I'm laid up in the bed, I can't be 100%. I can't be there for my kids. So, I mean, that is what got me to push harder and hurry up and get better, is because I got to be there for them. They need me, for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they need dad.
Yeah.
And they don't need like 20% dad.
Yeah. So, and that was a shock to them. I mean, because they're used to having me,
full throttle.
Yeah, full throttle, doing all kinds of stuff, playing, whatever. And then it got to the point like where I was like, sorry, I was like, I can't do anything. Can't do any,
Shit's broken.
Yeah. And then it's like I get up and hobble and stuff, and then it's like I kept feeling like, am I going to be able to, walk right again after this? Is it going to be weird?
Depressing.
You had to learn how to do everything all over again.
Yeah.
And so it was just a lot of ice packs and
a lot of fucking acetaminophen.
Yeah, a few painkillers and
some Bengay.
Yeah,
it goes a long way.
Yeah, it does.
It does, dude. No, man, I'm excited, dude. It's been too long since I've seen you, since we've gotten to hang out. I'm glad we got to hang out Friday night.
Oh, yeah, that was
at Factor's film premiere with Thomas Bernardin, which is another tool in your tool belt. That's another guy who's done film before. So hopefully we can, get in touch with him. But yeah, man, Factors was dope. I'm really pumped that we got to see you. I'm glad that we got to hang out then. I'm glad we're getting to hang out now. We'll hang out after the show too. But yeah, man, I guess last couple minutes of, the outro here is all up to you. If you want to shout out anybody or anything you got coming up in the future or in the near future, whatever you want, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess if anybody's looking to join any martial arts, what I take is Chunjido. We was at Tri-State Athletic Club. Now we have our own dojo out on North Green. It's in that little complex center with the Mongolian barbecue, and there's like a nail shop, and it's like real close to Cheddar's.
Okay, yeah.
Like right there.
There's O'Brien's. There's a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah. So it's in one of those strips, and it's right there. It's called Chunjido. We have like some really cool gis. We got the solid black gis.
Yeah, you get the all black gis.
So yeah, that's always tough.
Dope.
Yeah, that's always tough. But
it's fucking metal.
Yeah, like everybody there is just so caring, and they'll help you, motivate you. I mean, it's just a great place to be. Like whenever I go in there, all my worries go out the door, and I have so much fun in there. So if anybody's looking to do anything like that, then yeah, look them up. They're on all the social media. They're on Instagram, Facebook. They have a website. So yeah.
And shout out to your guy running the place. What's his name again?
So our grandmaster is Grandmaster Robert Kutrell, And then the black belt that's running the dojo is Sensei Nathan Steele.
Okay. So shout out to those two gentlemen fucking swinging their fucking meat hammers around and getting people in shape, dude.
So, great place.
Well, dude, seriously, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate you coming in. I wanted to get you back in here way fucking sooner.
Yeah.
But schedules don't line up the way you want them to. We get fucking booked out 9 months at a time thanks to this guy. Fucking close your mouth, you fucking orangutan. Yeah. But seriously, I greatly appreciate your time.
I appreciate you guys bringing me on because I know that I obviously don't have like businesses and stuff underneath my belt, but for you guys to have me come on and just shoot the shit with you guys,
100%.
I love it.
No, we love it, man, and people love it. So seriously, man, thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it, man. Yeah. This has been another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas,
and this has been Mike Farley. Mike, guys, get it right. Thank you, sir.